Uh-oh. I think I think it's working. This takes a while to load. Hey, there it is. Hello everyone. Welcome to a new Let's Play with me, your host Tim. And today we're gonna start playing through the Legend of Blacksilver together. Almost said the other game. There's some prep here that you can skip by just the slider up here on YouTube to the appropriately segmented spot. In case you don't want to listen to me prattle on a little bit about what this game is, how far I got in it, assuming I have played it before, any Timisms we'll be doing as we play this game together, which is to say stuff you should be aware of how I play games and maybe other people don't do it, and why we're choosing to play this game today. Let's go ahead and get started. The Legend of Blacksilver is an old role-playing game. It was made in the late 80s, if I recall correctly. I'm sure there's a date somewhere that I missed in that title screen, because I was just shut my eyes and listened to the amazing music play. This is more of the Legacy of the Ancients game, effectively, in so much that it has all the same types of ideas in it, but it's about twice the game that one was in terms of size and things that you were able to do. It has 2 massive continents in it, 5 total dungeons, 2 fortresses for us to deal with, more armor and weapons to go to, twice the cities to visit. It has new mini games for raising your stats and so on, and it has actually silver coins, which will allow us to improve our magical skills as we play through this game together. It's amazing. The user interface is the same and fantastic, and it took up 2 double-sided 5 1/4 floppy disks. My goodness, a long time ago. But I remember it. I used to have those discs. My God. The last time we played this game together, or the last time I played this game was the last time we played this game together, if you were on my channel, some, I think 8 years ago or so. It has been too long. But I had beaten this game multiple times, way back when I used to own my Commodore 64. And obviously I have beaten it since then, whenever I fire up one of my old emulators to play through it. And that's what we're doing today. I'm using the Vice 64 emulator. I have the ROMs for this game. I always copy them from computer to computer, so I can play this game wherever it is I go, and on my new computers I build. Yep, still to this day. And we're going to do it again. We're playing this game together because it has been far too long since I played these games. And having survived cancer last year, I wanted to play through these games again. These have a special place for me. This is arguably, this should be my '1 game ever made on a tier list. This is #1. Absolutely. The game's great well, maybe not great replayability. Like, the dungeons don't rearrange themselves or something of the sort, but I love it. I love this game. I think it still holds up today. Graphics are decent, like you can tell what everything is. Story's acceptable, game's tough, especially if you didn't map the dungeons, which I totally did. And I love it. Absolutely amazing game. In any case, we're playing again one more time because I want to remember what this game was like and play through it again on my channel. Every few years I had intended to do this, and it's been far too long since I have done it. For Timisms, I'm going to be reading everything with you guys. The game is not voiced. This is an old game, but it has lots of text, so we'll be reading all of that. I will be using my they're not cloth maps, Tim. They are, in fact, where are they? Here they are. I still have my graph paper maps. We'll be using those when we get to the dungeons. This way we're not horrifically lost, and I don't force you guys to watch me create the maps at the time. I have, since the last time I played this game, discovered that the maps are also available online. Like, people have uploaded the maps for all the dungeons. So if you ever wanted to play one of these games but are terrified of doing a dungeon without a map, Don't worry, people got you covered. Just keep a window open next to you as you're playing through the game on your emulator or what have you. I think that's really about it. There's not really much else to say, I suppose. I will be chatting with you guys as we play this game from beginning to end, so this will not be a silent Let's Play. I don't tend to do those very often these days anyway. And I think if this works... It does not. Okay, so maybe it's because it's not selected. Let's see. No. Okay, so I have some work to do because the game is not registering my gamepad. So I will be back. I'm going to fiddle a little bit with that. I'm also going to check to make sure my voice is coming out okay, but I'm fairly confident it is because these days I use OBS to record games rather than Fraps. And I can tell looking over here that my levels look okay. In any case, I'm going to cut the recording really quick, fix my joystick effectively. When I come back, we'll be ready to play. Give me 1 second. Hey everyone. Alright, I think my voice is coming out okay with the game. A heads up, not that anyone will particularly care, but I've already now finished the first episode and forgot to record this bit here. And I want to talk about two things really quickly. Between this part and the next part, took me 3 hours of real-life time to get working. Turns out my disk images, in particular the third disk image at the very least, was not right. I couldn't use it. The game wouldn't recognize disk. I did a bunch of searching, replacing, loading, looking at things, all sorts of things, and eventually got it to work. But I may sound a little exasperated when we actually get into the game. And number two, because I've already completed the first video, we already have a character that I named Jared Hiltman. So I can't make the same name, but I want to record the introduction to the actual entering of the game world, which require me using a name. So I'm going to use a different name, but when we get into the game, you'll see Jared Hiltman as my character's name. Alright, and with that said, let us start a new game. Let us start a new game. Oh, my joystick is plugged. Is my joystick plugged in? It is. Okay. Remember, guys, I am using an emulator, so I have to go ahead and move disks around. There we go. Okay. I will adjust the speed of the game at some point during the rest of this video. I think about the halfway point during the loading portions where I'm going into places. That's my fancy way of saying that you're hopefully the amount of load screens that we have to sit through will be shortened, starting at the halfway point and going forward. So normally I would put Jared Hiltman here, and that would be my character's name. Here we'll just choose Dreamus Dauradon, a name I like using. It's going to load, viewer. I swear it will. Just give it a little bit. I think it will ask me to put the first disc in. The emulator I'm using, Vice C64, acts like an actual disk drive from back then. So it can take several seconds or up to a minute to load to load the disk when we go ahead and place one effectively into the drive. So please be patient. We will get there. You awake with a start. Your dreams seemed so amazingly real. Princess Alia, daughter of the king of all Bantross, had come to you in search of a champion. Baron Taragus has found Blacksilver in his infernal mines, she said with a shudder, and I fear for us all. Blacksilver, a part of the ancient tales of evil, the power to raise mountains and drain the seas. My father raised a great army to march against Taragus, but was kidnapped before he could lead them. Now, The noble wizard Cereval has sent me to find a hero, possessed of the wisdom and inner courage to lift the shadow from our land." She paused, looking intently into your eyes, and then whispered, "I choose you." Pressing something into the palm of your hand, she slipped out through the mists of your dream, her voice lingering long enough to say, "Seek my brother in the castle. By my gift he will know you." And now you sit in the pale light of the dawn, smiling at the grand dreams of a simple serf with fields to tend. Until you open your hand and see the feather. The fields can wait. Alright, guys. I'll see you in the game. Oh, holy crap. I think it's actually working. Hello, everyone. Oh, wow. 3 hours later, we are in Bantross. I'm going to talk for a little longer about the adventure I just had getting the game to run. I got no clue what on earth happened, but the discs I had, according to the timestamp on them, were last made in 2013, and only the first disc looked like it was acceptable to my emulator. Trying to load disc 3 or trying to load my old characters didn't work. The disc just wasn't recognized. I tried all sorts of things. I went to some old zips I have from many years ago, and the Legend of Blacksilver discs in those weren't valid. I ended up scouring the internet and trying all sorts of the Legend of Blacksilver downloads, and most of them wouldn't load. Most of them don't work. Eventually, I found a site which contained both. It looked as if it had a choice of downloads for this, which consisted of crediting the people who cracked the game. I downloaded the Xenobits one, and I don't quite understand it, but one of the files is labeled with an A in brackets, and those files look like they work. So here we are. Finally. Man, all sorts of things. I was trying, I copied the files from older USB sticks over here, and no, those didn't work. So at some point, my discs just became invalid, or my emulators are unable to load those ones. But we found something that does work. Holy crap, half of my Sunday, this January 26, 2025, was spent cursing, swearing, and trying all sorts of different Commodore discs. We finally have it working. All right, everyone. Let me put a break here so I know where to cut this part of the video off. Okay. Oh, wow. We're going to hear that a lot, I suppose, whenever I stop and cut the recording here on OBS. All right. Let's take a look around us and explain what we're seeing, just in case you are unfamiliar with this game. We are the very heroic-looking white figure there in the center of the screen. Look at us. We look great. That is us. We are currently standing in a marsh or a swamp. I think it's a marsh, if we examine a swamp. We are in a swamp. We can see some forests down below us. There are some, looks like lakes over there to the upper left-hand side. And the flat green are plains, if I recall correctly. We don't have any weapon whatsoever. And we are wearing shoddy leather armor. We are, after all, a peasant who was just attending fields in a swamp. Not the best place to, I suppose, attend fields, huh? To the left-hand side of the screen are all the various things we can do to bring up options for us, either in combat or not in combat when on the screen we see in front of us. You can use the, you go to them, you select them by hitting the letter that begins the word. So if we want to hit fight, we hit F, for example. We have a joystick, but that can't be used to select these things. That's used to move us instead in the world. Down is, on the joystick, is south, west is left, east is right, north is up, for example. The hit points is our, well, obviously the HP is our hit points. That reaches 0, we die. Gold and food are the things we will be managing in this game. As we walk around out here in the world and within dungeons, our food will go down much more rapidly above world than in dungeons, but it will decrease in both. Gold is used to buy all sorts of stuff. Time is elapsing. It doesn't really elapse very quickly up here in the above world, but what you're seeing is that pass is the game automatically passing our turn every few seconds, depending upon what your game speed is set to. The game will pass. This is much more important when combat is broken out, as you are passing your turn, and then all the enemies get to move. We will see that later. Let's look at our inventory. This shows our current statistics. 15 is not very good, so we are not very agile. We're not terribly strong. We're not very persuasive nor cute. We can't really take a hit, and we're not very smart. Maybe the princess made a mistake when she chose us to go on this adventure. We will try not to disappoint her overly much. We are a serf is our level. Oh, I guess there is no level like 2 or 3 now. Serf is what we are. We spent a total of 0 days in the game world. There's our character's name up on top as well. Your armor weapons are listed here. Whatever, you can carry 3 suits of armor and 5 weapons. Doesn't matter what they are or how much they would weigh. It's 3 armors, 5 weapons. The ones you have selected and are wearing, I believe, will be highlighted white. We have 1 falcon feather equipped on us, so that we possess as other possessions as well. And we have no spells at the moment, nor do we see what spell skills we have for spells. This is new. This was not in Legacy of the Ancients. We will get to see that as we adventure around. Now, I remember the map for this, viewer, that came with the... Did a map come with... I'm pretty sure a map did come with this game, but it only detailed the first continent, that one that we are on currently. I don't remember what the continent's name is. I know the planet's name is Bantross, but that might also be the continent that we're on. And where we want to go, the castle, is straight south of us, more or less. So, with that said, let's go down there. This is rather appropriate that the first creature we are seeing approach us is a blood pup. The book, the manual, had a story about an adventurer that met one of these creatures, and it killed him because he didn't realize that this little adorable puppy, which I think looks like a dachshund or something, its tongue is actually like, works like a razor blade. And when he bent down and it licked his face, it was basically slicing him open. He felt really weak and collapsed as the little puppy was licking him, and he died, being licked to death by this creature that then drained all his blood. How horrid! I was really impressed with this. Just like the original Legacy, we are not really suited for fighting until we can improve our statistics. So we don't really want to fight very often. There are some things I might remember that are weaker than others, but at the moment, I would like to avoid fighting things. Now, we have more options when it comes to dealing with creatures here than we did in Legacy. In Legacy, I think it was wait or fight. And you could also move away. Here, we say flee, and I think we get a direction we can move in. Okay, just flee. Okay, all right, good, we avoided it. We are, after all, a serf. We're not prepared to fight anything at the moment. This white-looking thing here, that's a yellow. That's a desert. And this is a bone snake? Bone rattler? Let's fight it. Bone worm. All right, we're running away now. Flee. There we go. Yep. That was too tough for us. We took 6 damage. Thankfully, we have 200. So I guess the good news about a peasant is that we're beaten up a lot. We get slugged in the face often. We're beaten down by the weight of the world, as it were, or people with sticks, or people wielding bone worms as weapons. And so we can take a lot of hits. Not that many, but we can take some. I'm pretty sure the castle was straight south. Snap Fiend. We'll fight this one. Maybe we'll win. Oh, bare hands. We're strangling it to death. No, forget it. We're running. We couldn't get away. Okay, there's a castle. Oh, thank God, that pink thing all the way down there to the right. You know, now that I think about it, I don't know if I actually realized this before, but the Legacy of the Ancients castle is also pink. Must be some sort of rose quartz. We're fleeing. Oh God, bowel root. What an awful name. Man, these things have bad days. I suppose it's a really smelly creature. That bowel root. Reminds me of the venom floaters from good old Legacy time. The brown stuff there, that's mountains. This is a heads up. We survived. All right, we made it. We took an eighth of our hit points and damage, but we survived. We made it. All right, let's enter a castle. This side too. All right, I will cut the recordings for these. All right, here we are, guys, inside the castle. We supposedly have the means to let the prince know that we have been chosen by his sister to do the grand quest. I wonder if she actually gave, like, feathers to several different peasants. Maybe we're not the only ones to have been given this gift. I never actually thought about that before. We're in the castle, in the courtyard, next to a bed of flowers. There's a mighty-looking fountain here in the center. Next to a sprinkling fountain. They really improved upon the original Legacy game in every way I can think of for this one. The graphics here are... I mean, it was still the Commodore 64 graphics, but things look a little more refined in this game as opposed to Legacy. Not knocking Legacy. Legacy was a fantastic game. I still think Legacy is one of the best games I have ever played. These are doors. In the commons next to a door. But this game does look... I mean, it's great. And it's been so long since I've played it. Holy crap. A treasure chest. They are more appropriately sized, I suppose, in this world. But we're not allowed to open these. Similar to Legacy of the Ancients, we open a chest. Every single guard in this entire castle will be at our throats. We're not here to steal stuff, after all. I see you have the feather. Why not use it? Oh, thank you, guard. That's some useful information. Look at that desk with the book on it. And the chairs. One chair is actually pushed in under the table. That's pretty amazing looking. All right, next to a door. These are torches. Next to a flickering torch. You know, I was playing Ultima Underworld the other day, thinking about recording it, when I bumped into the list issue that corrupts the entire game, and you can't play it after then, effectively. So, unfortunately, that will not grace the channel. And it occurred to me how the only light source in that world comes from you. Everybody else is living in darkness in that world. So, that's pretty grim. In the castle, next to a sprinkling fountain, this is a mounted head of some sort. I can't make out what type of creature it is. Looks like an insect head of some sort. Guess these guys were taking after the old Adventurers Guild from Spielberg. More fountains. Do the guards say maybe different things? Nope. They're all hinting that, hey, you have a feather, you should use it. Another stuffed animal. That one looks like a boar's head. I think those are tusks. Some sort of flower with tusks? That's what that looks like to me. Really weird looking creature. The first puzzle of the game. How do you get through the door? Can we open it? The doors are locked. Well, we can use our falcon feather. Wow, to unlock the door. Good for you remembering, Tim. We have banners here, I suppose from... Oh, these must be the colors of the kingdom. Green and white. I think the prince is actually wearing a green coat, isn't he? No, brown. Okay. Sorry. Blue. You see the prince on a dais. Examine. We're in a throne room next to the prince. All right, well, let's talk with him. Uh-oh. Gonna take a while. We'll talk about the loading screens in a bit. I could do something different here, but I'm a little worried. I am the prince of this castle, and of all the lands around here. I like his mustache. And his beard. I see you have an interesting feather. May I have it? The game does give you lots of options to say no to things you should say yes to, and yes to things you should say no to. And I believe it has at least one way you can end up in a really miserable world state. The game lets you do it, and you can't beat the game, but you said you'd do a thing a certain way, and thus you get that ending, more or less. But if we don't say yes to this, we don't go any further than this. We can go out in the world and adventure around, but we won't get the main quest, and then we won't get any assistance, and we can't do very much, if I recall correctly. So let's give him this feather. Since you come with the feather, I know my sister selected you to be our champion. I only pray that you are not too late. It's been many days since the king was kidnapped. What the heck? There is much to do. The earthquakes continue to batter the castle. A landslide now blocks entrance to the inner chambers. The wizard Cereval is trapped inside, imprisoned by orcs. Holy crap, there's been a lot that's been happening in this world. A lot of this, if I recall correctly, was also detailed in the manual. You got several pages worth of lore about what was happening, the wars of the world that had occurred earlier, and so on. And I think it even detailed, in some amount of with some good amount of it, the creatures that you would encounter, detailing what they look like and like how they attacked and stuff of that sort. Anyway, looks like although we were feeding our... Why can't I think of it? we were tending to our fields. It looks like that the world's been rather put to it at this moment. I guess being a simple serf, we didn't concern ourselves overly much with this. And I suppose we stayed out of towns for the most part, so we've avoided any rumors mentioning this sort of thing. Will you help? Of course we'll help. Here is a key. You must find a way to get past the landslide. Once you do, you'll have to defeat the orcs who have captured the inner castle chambers. My gold is yours, provided you use it for the good. The wizard Cereval has much to offer, if you can defeat the orcs and free him. Godspeed. All right, we'll talk about this, what we're seeing right now, which is nothing, once we get back to the game. Which will happen any second. I swear it will happen any second. Okay, there we go. So viewer, as I've mentioned, I'm using the Vice emulator to run this game. I have the option to increase the speed at which this runs. However, there could be issues with the game if I do so. I will risk some testing of this in between recording sessions. But at the moment, it's run at 100% speed. What this means is that the game runs at about the speed that it would have run had I had the hardware with the disk the disk drive actually reading the disk. Now, I have images. I don't have actual Commodore 64 disks. I don't have a Commodore 64 disk drive. I'm running an emulator for this purpose. But it's effectively running it as if I had possessed the things. As such, it's slow. Viewer, I grew up at an age where it would take minutes to load a game. Like, if I wanted to play at Archon 2 Adept, man, that was loading for like 5 minutes. You went and did something else while that loaded, or playing like summer games or something like that. These days, people get really impatient if it takes longer than 10 seconds. Your computer boots up in 3 seconds or so, depending upon what type of solid state you possess or so on. My goodness, what a crazy world we live in. I really appreciate how far we've come technology-wise, but I also still like the old way. I don't mind how long it takes to load things and so on in these games. Anyway, we might learn a little more information from the prince. Let's speak with him again. Sorry, drinking Cherry Coke Zero, of course. My second one of the day. I really should not be drinking 2 of these a day, but I am really sleepy. There is no more I can tell you right now. Our hopes are still with you. All right, thank you, Prince. I am sorry, viewer. That was a lot of loading for him to say nothing. Oh, well, we're learning together. All right, we're back. Okay, so, right, so he gave us now permission to open the chests. His gold is ours. It's also hints that we are, in fact, the only person given this quest, or they refilled the chests when someone else arrived here and spoke to the prince. Let's speak with the guards again. I should not converse, sir. All right, that's fine. Yep, guard your castle. In all my years of playing this game, I don't believe, or years of playing this game as if I played all the time, throughout the years, whenever I would play this game, not once have I ever raised a weapon against the guards in this castle. It remains one of the few places where combat, I've never participated in combat here. Now, the gold in these chests, if I recall, is a bit randomized. And also, the chests in this world, in the castles you go to, does refill from time to time. So later on, if we let like a year or two pass, there might be some chests that have refilled, allowing you to get more money, just in case you decide you want to get it that way. A blue gem. Our protagonist here does not know it, but I know that the gems that we find in this world are the equivalent of the coins that we had on Tarmalon. They are used to interact with special exhibits that are held within the archives of the temples on this world. Wow, look at me remembering all this all of a sudden. All right, let's see. So, oh, and there is no hold this time around. There's only use, and then you hold the things that you select. There we go. It used to be a hold and a use, I think, action over in Legacy. Look at this amazing table. I like the color. Like a velvety. Well, velvet's a type of fabric, Tim, not a color. 34 gold. You don't get much gold from most of these chests, but it is something. And as a peasant who only had 20 gold, should not say no to getting 35. We got 34, and I said 35, and then we earned 35. It's like I knew we were going to get 35 from there, and I swear I did not. That's pretty amazing. The guards are probably really jealous at the moment. Actually, the guards probably get paid a lot more money than we would get. 38 gold. Put all this to good use. We definitely need a little nest egg. Now, of course, we have to survive a trip to a town, because we could very easily bite the dust, and that's the end of us. Maybe we shouldn't take too many of these. You're in a castle in a private section, next to a piece of furniture. This looks like a desk of a cabinet or drawers. 75 gold, nice. Let's open 2 more. We'll come back for any others later when we've leveled up a little bit. Or at least secured some weapons and armor to help us not die immediately from being out in the world. 1 more chest. Arguably, we should open all of it, save the game, and if we die, just reload. You know what? We'll do that. Because things are expensive in this world. I suppose we'll chat in advance about some of the shopping in this world as well. So in Legacy, everything was the same when it came to arms, equipment, and the prices of food and so on. Spells cost different amounts depending upon where you went to buy them. In this world, if I remember correctly, armor and weapons also are worth different amounts depending upon the town that you go to. So, with the more expensive towns, everything is more expensive in those towns. You also, I believe, can earn more money selling things in those towns. let's see. Does our key open this up? We heard about orcs. It does. Can we also open this? No. Okay, so the key does not open the south door. I knew it wouldn't. And here is a cave-in. The castle in the lost section. I've always was amazed at how the game thrusts you right into it, and the very first place you get quests from is having problems. Like, I would not have imagined the castle itself to be having issues. I expected the world to have problems, but not the castle itself. Alright, I shall be back. Alright, guys. We have left the castle. We can hear the surf from the rather large lake to the south of the castle. And if I remember correctly, there's a town to the west and slightly north of us. And another one far to the north, or further to the north. We want to flee from creatures until we can get a decent weapon. And by that, I mean any weapon. We have none at the moment. Oh, that's something else we have to be aware of in this game. Your armor can be broken by creatures in the world, as can your weapons. In Legacy, this only happened from certain creatures that you would encounter inside dungeons. And for the dungeons themselves, many creatures have something special about them, in addition to just being a nasty creature that you have to worry about dealing with. And here's the town. I cannot remember the name of this town. I want to say Allenville, but that's only because it's right here abutted against this lake or bay. Allenville was the town in Legacy that was the same and led to the castle. But this is not Allenville. I do not remember the names of any of these towns. Let's find out what this one is. Clissold Creek. So our quest will require us doing a few things to start. We need to access an archive in the Hawk Temple? I think it's the Hawk Temple, where we can use this blue gem. This will get us access to a means to get past the landslide, or the cave-in, inside the castle. We need to outfit ourselves for the upcoming battle against the orcs therein, too. It will not be easy to fight them. There are many of them, so we need a decent weapon and some armor. We also will want some spells to help us. We need, I think it's called a glow tip, and an armor enchant. These help us deal more damage with our weapons and increase the amount of damage resistance that our armor will provide us. These are not cheap, however, so we're going to need to fight creatures out in the world for a little bit, do miscellaneous odd jobs in the towns, in order to get the money we need to outfit ourselves. Our stats are also rather poor, so we will want to visit, I think it's Eagle Temple, in order to improve our dexterity, if I recall correctly. Sails Marina. That's a great name. I love the puns they have for every single shop that you come across. We're not selling now. Yep, you're not allowed to kill yourself by going out on the bay and fighting the sea creatures. Water creatures still remain are among the more dangerous things that you can encounter in Bantross, if I recall correctly. Ethel's Eats. Food and water. Just like the original game, every meal is 1 gold. So we have 46 days of food. Let's take another 30. Let's buy 35 more days. We started with 60. We went through almost half that food on our trip to the castle. And then to here. Hello, guard. The guard salutes. Salute them right back. Thank you, sir. I think this is the weapon and armor shop in this place. It is! Al's Armor. Hey, Al's Armor. What do you got today? Shoddy leather. We are already wearing it. Ironworks. Would you do me a favor? Oh, it's not the weapon store. So in this game, okay, hold on. In Legacy, you could get there was a miscellaneous quest you could get by talking to a food merchant if you did not possess some sort of mail to be delivered. And they would give you a quest to deliver mail to a town that was, to effectively a place that was one town away in distance. Here, you can get a similar quest from these people, and they might also give you a quest, though, to do work in the town itself for a day. And you'll get money right then and there. I don't think the food people give you quests anymore, though. The parcel deliveries come from these people as well. So let's see what Ironworks wants us to do. I need this package taken to Tumminus. Okay, and just like that, we have now that parcel. Yep. There is another quest, though, that we can get from him, or do for him. Oh, but not right now. Okay, very well. Most places will give you the option to work for them for one day, and you'll get not a lot of money, but it's free money, effectively. So you should always take it when you get the option. Well, I like the little stream they have. Or river? Little river? It's a small river. Feels like a stream. Creek? Creek. Let's go with creek. Ooh, we have some graves over here. It's supposed to be a church. Or a temple? Oh, it's a jail. That's a bit demoralizing. Now, I will explain how this works. So in the first game, there were jails, and there might be someone in them, but you couldn't interact really with those people, if I recall correctly. Here in this game, we can speak to the prisoners, but if we do so, immediately we'll be attacked. You're not allowed to even speak to the people in jail, unless you speak to the jailer first. Let's show you how it works. Did you just set 8 gold on my desk? I did. I'll keep quiet one time. Now we can speak to a prisoner once. Can you spare 11 gold for a nice guy? Yeah, sure. I heard these guys talking. They snuck into the archive once to see the singing crystal. They give you hints as to what it is that you need to be doing. But you gotta pay the guard first. If we didn't pay that guard, the guy behind the desk, effectively, I guess the jailer, all the guards in the town would immediately go hostile. We would be attacked. We'd probably die, be thrown into prison, and that would probably be the end of it for our adventure. Steel deals weapons. What have you got? A good dagger. Well, we don't have any weapon at all, so one good dagger for us. Okay, it's a weapon. High-low. Okay, so I need to explain a little bit about high-low in this game, in this world. So this world has 3, I think, gambling types. High-low, which is exactly what it sounds like. If you're not familiar with the game, it's a card game played with the standard like poker deck, and 5 cards are put on the board, and then you get a card flipped face up. Those other cards are face down. You need to guess if the next card is going to be higher or lower than the card that you have face up currently. You make your guess, flip that card over. If you're right, you continue. If you're wrong, you lose right then and there. If it's a tie, you lose. You have to get all 5 guesses correct, and then you win the game, winning your bet. I forget what the odds are. However, if I remember correctly, the game, at least the very first one that you get that is shown to you, comes from a fixed pool of potential card draws. In other words, and I think it's like 6 total beginning card draws, which means that like one of them always had a tie in it, which means if you recognize what you got, You could tell right away if you're going to win or lose based on the first card that was drawn. You knew right then and there if you wrote down those cards what you would get. So I don't like playing high-low because of it. There's also blackjack, if I think, in this game, and there's a spin the wheel game here. Flip flop doesn't exist any longer. It was too easy, I suppose. the spin the wheel, it's like a roulette type of game, only it's more akin to the Price is Right big wheel spin type of thing, and you can win more money than you bet, but you can lose more money than you bet. And if you lose more money than you bet and you don't have that money, I think everyone goes hostile on you. So I got to be careful if you go gambling in this game. Now I don't remember where Thomas was. I think it's to the west. But we should go to the east to start. I really just wanted a weapon to start us with, and maybe some better armor. We didn't get any better armor there. I want to say there's a town to our north, but it's not Thomas. Why don't we go there first and look for some better armor? Whenever we're in a different type of terrain, by the way, we can see how quickly we travel across it and how much food we'll be expending during our travels. A tingler. I think the food on this is good, safe to eat. And I don't think these are too tough. We're dying. We're gonna die right here. We did it. Okay. Do we get the option to eat its food? We do not. 13 gold. My goodness, that hit us for like 20-something damage. We should avoid everything until our dexterity's a little better. We should flee. Gotta avoid all the monsters. The town we want is to the north of this lake, if I recall correctly. Keep fleeing. There it is. I know I said the last town was named Allentown, but I think this town's begins with an A in its name. Appia, it does. We'll visit Appia. Appia is probably how you pronounce it. Now, what we're looking for weapon-wise, I think, is a whip. I think that's the best type of weapon we can get at the moment. Which is a weird weapon to use. You wouldn't think it would do that much damage. I mean, it's scary. It stings. It's a bit more better range than a dagger. But I mean, I'm basing it solely on my recollection of 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons weapon statistics. A dagger does a 4-sided dice in damage, and a whip does a 2-sided dice in damage. So dagger was a better weapon to use. Dagger also had a faster speed factor. I suppose it wouldn't be true. Like a whip was a better weapon, arguably, in Ultima 7. You could get the lightning whips. Those are pretty good. I always used to give those a Spark. Seemed to make sense. You know, lightning whip. His name is Spark. God, it's been a long time since I played that game, too. Where are we? We're in Appia. Appia. Look about to see more. Manly man armor. What do you got, manly man? Great leather. It's better than our shoddy leather. We'll take a suit of it. We can wear it. I suppose we can sell our shoddy leather. We are wearing. Okay, wearing. We have our good dagger equipped. This is the jail? No. Gambling. Did we play some Dragon Wheel? Just show you. I guess we can do both. We can do all the gambling once to show you what it's like. So yes. Oh, it requires loading. Oh man. Okay. I do need to sit down and take a peek at how to make this load faster. It shouldn't be that difficult to do. I'm just a little nervous. I don't want to do it here on screen, so together, viewer, we will get through this. We will get through it. Instructions. Yeah, let's read the instructions. It's easy. There's 3 wheels with symbols on them. Win big gold. Oh, I thought it was 1 wheel. Okay. So then this is like the slot. This is a slot machine, and it works a bit like the slot machine in the first Space Quest game. And that you can... well, is that right? First Space Quest game didn't make you lose more money. This can. But this game won't kill you if you roll bad symbols, like that game did. Of course, some symbols pay off more than others. For instance, the 3 crowns pays 40 times your bet. In this game, though, it's possible to lose more than your wager. Beware the dragons and the skulls. Note that the symbols must be together to win. This combination would win. We have 2 crowns, while this combination would not. They must be one after the other, starting, I think, from the left to the right. I think if it was a harp and then 2 crowns, I don't think you win anything with that. Let's see the payoffs. 2 urns is 2 times your bet. 3 times for scrolls. Oh, no, I'm wrong. 2 leers pay 4 times your bet. Okay, so... oh, God, I hit a button. What did I just press? Oh, no! I don't know what I did, viewer. I will be back. Okay, it was caps lock. Hit caps lock. Coins are 5 times our bet. 6 times for chests. 7 times for 2 crowns, and so on and so forth. The 2 skulls lose 5 times. Dragons lose, I think, 3 times. Then you get the triples. This goes up for the bad ones, too. Yeah, don't want skulls. You don't ever want to see a skull. All right, we don't need to see it again. All right, you win or lose many times your bet. Good luck. All right, so I think this is the only one that's extremely, like, actually random, I think. I don't really remember. But we're going to go ahead and bet 12 gold once. And only once. I do not really want to spend more than that. No match. Just lost our money. No, we're done. I don't care. Yes. I generally never play this game. I don't play gambling games in games that have them. The house always wins. I only do it if I'm forced to do it. Because we have to do it for a quest-related thing. And we don't have the money to spare to do this. We could always save the game, go in, gamble a lot, reload the game. But I feel that's a bit... even when I was young, that felt a little cheaty to me. It's not really. You play the game like it is. But you can play the game however you like. It's a single-player game. I'm not going to judge you too much. Let's see what this guy has. Blackjack. We'll play some blackjack. So it does have blackjack. We'll play blackjack once. Only once. I'll show you what blackjack is. Everyone knows what blackjack is, Tim. I don't know why you're forcing viewers to go through a load screen here, but I guess we're going to do that. Can we make this faster? Oh, that's what happens if you do indeed speed it up. You get weirdness going on. Okay. We don't need directions, right? House wins ties. Over 21, you lose. A house has to stop betting at, I think, 16. It has to hold at that point. Might be 17. We don't need directions. Let's just go ahead and bet. We'll bet 10. 12, we might as well hit. Still 12, hit again. Over 21, we lose. We're done. No, I hate this game. Yes, we're quitting. Come on, big. No, I couldn't have. We would have just lost over and over again. I don't remember if blackjack has fixed cards, but can't hold at 12. You gotta bet it. You gotta get another card. So I hate them. They always let the foul taste in my mouth. These gambling games. I always felt they're a bit unfair because they're supposed to be unfair. They always favor the house. So not for us. We'll get our money the good old-fashioned way by killing things for it. Charmed, I'm sure. Standard magic shop. Shops in Legacy, the magic shops, sold all types of spells, if I recall correctly. Here, shops sell either these types of spells, which can be used anywhere, or dungeon spells, which can only be used in dungeons. Now, while I want spells. We want glow tips and armor chants. We can't really afford these at the moment. They're really expensive, and we need the money for other things. It's good to know there is such a shop here. Food. We need more food. We'll buy 32 days. Here's the jail. We can't actually afford to speak to that guy. We're down to under 200 already. Slings and arrows weapons. A good whip. We'll buy a good whip. Okay, we'll hold on to the rest of our money, though. Would you like to work a day helping us make barrels? Of course. Spend a day of food, earn 19 gold. There is no reason not to do it, assuming you're like we are at the moment and really struggling for early cash. Just do it. You get some free money. And that was Appia. If we can get a great or superb whip, if we see one of those for sale, we should definitely buy 2 of them assuming we get the money to do so. And that would allow us to probably defeat the orcs, assuming, of course, that that's what we're aiming to carry with us on the off chance we lose one, like it gets broken or shattered. Okay, so I think we're going to wrap up this video by going to Eagle Temple. I think that's the temple, which is out here to the east. One of the more important temples. It does not have an archive in it, but it does have a means for us to improve our dexterity. Hopefully we have enough money to do so. A Ragged Knight. Hello, you're within range. We will barter. Quit that whining. No, I just want to get away. We need our dex improved to have a chance of defeating you. We miss too often. I think that's Ironforge right there. It might be Thomas, but I think that's Ironforge. And there's the temple. All right, I'm going to save the game outside the temple and head on in. We'll be picking up from inside the temple, so give me a second. All right, guys. Welcome to what I think is Eagle Temple. I'm pretty sure it's Eagle Temple. I forgot what name it said when I walked over here. Eagle Temple, it is. A common room next to a sparkling fountain. These are the museums of this world, but they provide more services, I suppose, than the original museum provided. First off, we have this priestly dressed man here. We are at the sanctuary next to the priest. Let's talk with him. I am the cleric of the Great Eagle Temple. Please understand that you are a visitor to a shrine of the wonderful gods of Bantross. How much tribute do you offer? This is how you can be healed in this game, assuming that you don't want to use healing potions to heal yourself. There are no, to my knowledge, healers in any of the towns, which means that you have to be monitoring your hit points a little more closely in this world, because you can't just be healed willy-nilly. Well, willy-nilly is the wrong term to phrase it. You can't be guaranteed to get it to a place that can heal you, right? Like, there are no healers around here. This is the only gentleman that we have access to at the moment who can, in fact, heal us. Let's offer him 45 gold. Your life be preserved. We have no archives here. Perhaps you should visit Owl Temple. It is the southwest. It is to the southwest, across the lake. Okay, a hint as to where we should be going next then. But a boat to cross that lake, assuming we need one, costs money, which now we have even less of, only 80 gold now to our name. Whew. This is the magic trainer? I am the temple magician, for training of magical skills, but only to those who have drunk the Ethereum. Similar to Legacy, certain things in this world require us exposing ourselves to some sort of magical reagent or component first. We must inhale this substance, and then we will be able to improve our magical skills. This is the Seeker, if I remember correctly, of the temple. No, it's not. Okay, this is the stat improving guy. All right, we'll be back for him. We're gonna give it a shot. Oh man, it's gonna be so bad, viewer. But it's how we improve our dexterity. This is the Seeker. I am the Seeker of Eagle Temple. Since birth, I've lived life waiting for the return of a special relic unique to this temple. Somewhere out in the world, there is a particular relic which will look like an eagle. If we bring it back to him, he will improve one of our statistics. I think it's charisma for him. And then we have this passage. I'm waiting for it. You shouldn't approach me now. You are not allowed to get close to the gentleman down that corridor. Since we're talking about everything, we'll just talk about this as well. So, spoilers. They sell healing potions, but you are forbidden from speaking with them until a certain thing occurs in the game world. I think you need a ring in order to go down, like a magic ring of some sort to go down that passageway, at which point they will sell you healing potions, but we don't get access to them whatsoever at this stage in the game. The person down there will kill you if you pursue's the wrong term, if you continue down that passage. So yeah, don't do it. Then you wake up, I think you're a little wounded, you lose gold, and potentially food, and then you gotta make all that stuff up again, so not really worth dying in this game. I do believe that you will be resurrected when you die. It's been a long time since I've died in Blacksilver here, so I can't recall correctly, but I don't think the game just ends with the game over screen. There was a reason why the princess chose you, and maybe her magic that resurrects you, if I recall correctly. All right, we're gonna shoot the traps for 50 gold. Oh, it's gonna. Oh, this is what that's gonna load. Sure. Let's advance time. The speed at which we load. Okay, there we go. Now definitely put this back to its normal speed. Okay, we will read the instructions because it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure I remember how it works. But still, let's do it. Trap shoot contest is a way to improve your dexterity. So we're going to stand in the center of this field. They're going to shoot out traps. These clay balls of various colors. Shooting multiple traps with a single arrow will give you bonus points. Is that right? I think so. It might be that if you can... Yeah, I think that's correct. Shooting white ones also gives you more points than shooting colored ones. Where they get shot from and the colors of them, I'm pretty sure is completely random. So you're not guaranteed to ever, even get a chance to shoot 3 traps all at once. It's done live, like this is a real-time event, and I'm miserable at it. I am not good at this. I'll be content if I can get a 27 dexterity here, which is not very good, all things in the grand scheme. Well, let me rephrase. It's acceptable. There's nothing wrong with that dexterity. I would want something quite a bit higher, but you gotta be a lot better at this game to get that dexterity, and so we might not be able to improve ourselves to that point. Like the other stat games in Legacy, what you earn is what your dex, like your point total, will determine what your dex will be. It will set it to what is the equivalent of that point total, which means if you score well in one game and then do worse in the second attempt, like let's say you do this again to try to get a higher score, it will lower your dexterity. So save the game before you go in here and make another attempt. It also is more expensive. The price of the game, if I recall correctly, is dependent upon your current dexterity. 50 for us with the dexterity of 15. To pull the traps, use either the spacebar or the fire button. You also use the spacebar to fire the button to shoot arrows. You can only fire one arrow at a time. It can be in the air at any one time, but you can fire them over and over and over again if you like. To aim, watch the crosshairs. Right. So you'll see. All right, so here we are. This is us in the center. Look at us. Hey, we look like Roger Wilco from the Space Quest game series. Interesting. Right, so we can move that target reticule, but only as you see it. I can't position the target reticule in any particular spot on the screen. Moving to the right will move it to the right, just like this. And when we shoot, our arrow will go towards that target reticule. Yes! We got the first one! Alright, that's good. But we gotta do a lot better than 50 points. Oh, okay, we don't have to hit them, we hit 3 during that one round, so it's not striking them all at once with one arrow. As long as you get multiple ones, if they launch multiple ones, you are good. I do not think it ever launches more than 3, as a heads up. I'll be glad to hit 2. Ah. Sometimes you can get them off screen, just barely. Sometimes. Alright, and that's the game. I like this game, but I'm not good at it. And trying to make slight alterations to hit one of these traps while other ones are going away is panic-inducing. You realize you're making mistakes, you try to correct yourself, and you make more mistakes. Like that. Darn it! Oh man, we didn't get any of those. Woo! Holy crap. If I can get 14,000, I'll be really impressed. We're halfway there. Yes! Holy crap! I don't think I get 3. That's another thing. When they start splitting it into two, as you can see, they're going in 2 directions. We're committed to maybe getting a second, where there's no way our character can swing the arrow so far to the other side. Yes! 500 extra points. Man, even one of them can be tough sometimes. No! Okay. I wanted to get this too. I know I've hit them off screen sometimes. Woo! Woo! Yeah. Yes! We got 2 with 1 arrow. Holy crap. No! Don't tell anyone. Come on. Hey, come on. If I can get 14,000, I will be happy. Oh, that was a fast load. No, only 1 from that. And yes, you can get several in a row where they only launch 1. I do not know if there's a fixed number of ones that launch like 3 or what have you, like, or 2, or if I don't believe they're always set in stone as to the numbers that you get. And where they launch from, I think, is also randomized, as is well, they're always going to go towards the other side. Like, one launching from the left side's slots will always go in an arc towards the right. The same thing on the left. You're not going to get one in the center right that goes to the right. That would just be mean. No, our big chance to get 14,000 there vanished. Alright, 14,000. I think this gives us like 25. Oh man. No, that was bad. Just one of those. Oh, yes! 15,000. Not bad. Yes! Hey! Okay. Not bad. 30! I'm happy with 30. I would love a little higher than 30, but I am content. I don't feel like, okay, we don't need to play this again, at least not in the early game. We don't have enough gold to play another round of Trap Shoot. I wouldn't anyway. I would want to stop at this point, leave and save the game. All right, not bad. Dexterity affects your ability to hit enemies and their ability to hit you. So that's one of the more important ones to raise right away, just like it was in the Legacy of the Ancients. Taking less damage, or, yeah, them missing you is more important. Take less damage, have to heal less often. Hitting enemies is more important, finish battles faster, and thus we can maybe now, somewhat reliably, get money by killing creatures. Alright, I'll be back. I'm going to leave the Eagle Temple and save the game. I think we'll visit one more town. Alright, guys. So, let's try to find where Tumnus is. A fetid weeds. These were kind of tough, and I think I remember losing weapons on fighting them, so I would like to get away from it. That looked like a giant toad to me. That's a great name for a toad. I'm assuming it makes some sort of wheezing noise when it tries to get you with its tongue. Take this, Tingler. Yes. 18 gold. I think Thomas was to the west of Clissold Creek. I think. So we'll go in that direction, and whatever town we find over there will be the next one, obviously, we're going to stop at. We won't get another quest to deliver a parcel to someplace until we deliver the parcel that we have, and like Legacy, the parcel deliveries gives us the most amount of money. It is a dangerous world, after all, so... Was that one game that came out a few years ago that involved you as being, like, delivering packages to some place in a really hostile world? This guy had, like, this baby in, like, a jar of fluid on his back or something like that. I don't remember what the game was called. Really crazy-looking game. I've heard it was pretty good. A Reagan Knight. We'll wait for him. He avoids me. Let's wait for this. That creature avoids us as well. That's fine with me. I think... Okay, I'm actually a little lost. I suppose, I don't... Oh, a brain spate. That's gonna look like some sort of alien, if I recall correctly. Can we get away from it? We can. I think... A Lipnopod. It looks like it has 3 heads to me. 3 heads and then a body. It's like the reverse of a headless, like a head full. Full of heads and necks. I don't want to accidentally say yes, uses flesh for food. Okay. We're not going to do that. Is this Tumnus? Quasit Hound. A bulldog-looking thing. Wow, 29 gold. That's so we want to aim for Quasit Hounds. That's quite a bit of cash. Ironwood. This is not Tumnus. Still, we'll go in here and then we'll end the game. Like once we're done in here. Where is Tumnus then? I don't remember. I'm gonna have to go look at a world map of Blacksilver's Bantross continent. Do you remember where all these places are? It has been a long time, viewer. It has been 8 years. And between Legacy and Legend, I played Legacy much more often. Even though, arguably, Legend is the better of the two games. Once again, it's what Legacy has, only more of it. But it has one thing that Legacy beat it in one thing. The ending. Legacy of the Ancients still has, to this day, the best ending of any game I have ever played. Amazing. I don't say that for nostalgic reasons either. I really honestly feel that ending was incredible. And we have a nice looking outer wall for this town. Look at that. I wonder if the politics are different. No, it can't be. The prince is in charge. There's no... I guess towns might have different ideologies associated with them, but they're all, otherwise they're all the same, more or less. And by that didn't make any sense what you just described. Maybe the mayors operate a little differently, but no matter what, they're still paying taxes to the prince. Yeah, we'll help you make bread for a day. 21 gold. We need more food. We're going to take 39 more days. No, Winnowad is the name of that gambling establishment. No, I'm not playing it. We're not doing gambling. I would need to have quite a bit of money saved. Like, we're talking over 1,000 gold for me to want to play some Dragon Wheel. Which I feel is the only one I would actually play, because I believe it is 100% random chance for Dragon Wheel. Which is to say, there's no fixed seed of numbers when you spin that wheel. As opposed to high-low, and I think blackjack work the same way. A bank! I forgot banks were even a thing. Let's deposit all of our money. High-low, nope. Of course, I could go and look up the high-low seed to see what cards were coming up based on what we draw. But I will not do so. I think the last time we played this game was when I realized that was happening. Because I think once or twice I recognized the pattern. And we got a third time, I was like, okay, it's a fixed seed. We're never playing this particular game again. Fair leather, we have good or great leather. We have great leather. Oh! Merchants can sell you gems, by the way, so we should arguably hold on to that money. But I'm not gonna buy a gem so early. We should, but I'm not gonna. Weapons, a great whip, but it's 138 gold. We'd have to sell our current whip, probably our dagger, to buy this one. No, we're not gonna do that. I'd rather have 2 weapons of good quality than 1 of great quality, because if they break. That's it for us. Now, I think, viewer, don't quote me on this. We could leave and come back in and work at this shop again, and keep doing that. I think, but we're not going to do it. We're going to walk the land and visit the different towns and cities and get a good feel for where everything is in this world. But we'll start doing more of that in the next episode, because we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you all for watching. Oh my goodness, it has been so long. I remember the beginning of this game taking a bit longer to find your stride, if I recall correctly. In other words, we're going to struggle a little more here at the early game than we did in Legacy of the Ancients. Alright guys, that will do it. So thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.